This is my 2012 Kymco People GT 300i, and I'm going to show you how to upgrade or replace the battery. Before we get started, I'm going to give you the specs of the OEM Yuasa battery. It's a Yuasa YTX12-BS, and that's the exact fit for the battery compartment on the Kymco People 300. The length is 5.8 inches, the width is 3.37 inches, and the height is 4.12 inches, and that fits perfectly in the compartment. It's a lead acid type, 12 volt, cold cranking amps are 180. The amperage is a 10 amp hour battery, and it weighs 7.78 pounds. In this video, I'm going to show you how to upgrade from the OEM lead acid type battery to a lithium iron phosphate battery, which is much lighter. I went with the Deltran Battery Tender, and the part number is BTL14A240C. It's a lithium type battery, and the reason I went with this is because of price and also the cold cranking amps for the size of the battery. It's actually quite a bit smaller than the OEM battery. The length is 5.27 inches, the width is 2.55 inches, height is 3.62 inches, so you can see it's much smaller than the original battery. You also get a lot more power. It's 12 volts, 240 cold cranking amps, pretty good operating temperature. And this battery, the lithium battery, only weighs 1.76 pounds compared to 7.78. This is a fairly simple job. It'll take you about 10 minutes or less. What you're going to need is your new battery. You're going to need 2 Phillips screwdrivers, possibly one larger for your removal of the screws on the old battery terminals, 1 flathead, a battery charger, and this one is Deltran's Battery Tender Lithium Junior. It's a really smart charger. It knows when the polarity is reversed, and it won't spark. It's a very good charger, and it's specifically for lithium batteries. And you'll need a Swiss Army knife or some kind of cutting tool. When connecting and disconnecting the battery terminals, a pair of gloves might be useful. The battery access cover is in the floorboard, and to remove it, you'll have to use a Phillips screwdriver for the 2 screws that secure it in place. Once you have those screws loosened, you use a flathead screwdriver. There's a small slot, and then it pops open like that. So once you get the compartment open, set it aside and disconnect the negative terminal first from its lead. Like so. And disconnect the positive terminal. And make sure you don't drop your tool across the terminals. Like so. Now you can pull the battery out. It lifts straight up. The new Battery Tender battery comes with a nut and screw terminal kit, so you want to install that on the new battery. You'll want the positive terminal on the right side and the negative terminal on the left side, just like the original battery configuration. Because the new lithium battery is much smaller than the original OEM battery, They ship the battery with a set of foam blocks which you can cut to size, and you can fit that inside the compartment. The first block I've already cut to size, and I've stuck it to the top of the battery because that was the most convenient spot. And the top of the foam block will rest against the battery compartment lid. Now I'm going to put the new battery in place to the far right and to the rear. So it's snugly in that corner. Now I've turned the camera around so you can see the better view of this foam block, which is going to be on the left side of the battery. So you press it up against the side of the compartment, and then with your knife press your knife against the side of the battery and then score a mark on the foam where you're going to cut it. Like so. Then you can go ahead and cut the block to size. Like so. Then you do the same for the block that goes up front. Press it against the front of the compartment. Press your knife against the front of the battery and then make a mark, score it, and cut it. Now you test fit each of the blocks. First foam block up front, and it fits well. And the second foam block on the side, on the left hand side. It's tight, but it fits. Now I'm going to remove the backing on the adhesive and press it into place. Like that. And now for the front block. I forgot to mention this up front, but the key should be out of the ignition. Now I'm going to put the new battery in and connect the leads to the terminals. Make sure the positive is on the left hand side. So there, it fits nicely, nice and snug. I'm going to connect the positive first. Actually, I'll have to connect the negative first because of the way it's. Like so. And there we go. We're done. and put the battery compartment lid back in place. Now check the power, and the power's on normally. If you want to reset your clock, press the mode and then the adjust button and hold it until the time starts to flash. And then hit the mode button. And the adjust button again.